Good morning, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Today I will be speaking about two people. One, Eric Garner, and two, Daniel Pantaleo. You may ask who they are. Well, Eric Garner was a citizen of New York. Eric Garner was doing his regular routine. He was out on the street trying to make some money. He was selling cigarettes. Loads and loads of other people throughout the United States and any given major city does the same thing. Daniel Pantaleo was a New York City police officer. The difference between Eric Garner and everyone else that's on the street selling cigarettes is Eric Garner died at the hands of Daniel Pantaleo, a New York City police officer. The reason I'm talking about this is because the federal judicial system will not press charges against the officer Daniel Pantaleo. It doesn't matter why they went after Eric Garner. The only thing that matters is Daniel Pantaleo used an illegal chokehold, and Eric Garner was killed while Daniel Pantaleo used said chokehold. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here because I'm really getting fed up with this. There's a section of America that says he got what he deserved. Eric Garner got what he deserved. He was a black man and he was breaking the law. Yes, Eric Garner was breaking the law. He was selling cigarettes on the street without a permit, and probably the cigarettes were probably not taxed, or then again they may have been. I'm not really clear on that, but what I am clear on is that the chokehold that Daniel Pantaleo used on Eric Garner was illegal, and a death occurred because of it. This is America. This is not the America that you see on TV and TV shows like Blue Bloods, Designated Survivor, West Wing, NYPD Blue, Law and Order SVU. This is an America where if you're not the right color at the right time, you could end up being killed. Now, I'm sure that there's people out there that are not black, that are not brown, that have gotten killed at the hands of police. And I understand that the news plays it up so it looks like It's a black against white, white against black problem. I understand that. But it's much different than that. It's much more deeper than that. There's a segment of America that wishes blacks were not here. The African American community throughout history has pulled America's butt out of the fire more times than you can mention. First off, when white folks decided to build large mansions and acquire big business and were too lazy to pick their own cotton, black folks did it for them. When the United States military needed cover fire for the bombers that were going into Germany, and white pilots were off seeking glory like we normally do, the Tuskegee Airmen stayed the course, saw the bombers make it to Germany and back without losing a single plane. The African American community pulled our butts out of the fire again. When the Queen of England was knighting people throughout the world, America had never been knighted before until Sir Sidney Poitier showed up on the scene, and the Queen of England knighted him, of all people. So my question is, why are black Americans looked down on so much? They didn't ask to come here. They didn't say, "Oh, sir, please chain us up and take us to America. We hates it here in our country so badly. We likes picking cotton. Please, take us to America." No, they did not do that. They were taken, put on ships, sent to America, put into slavery, and through all of that, horrible, horrible mess that America is part of, they've managed to raise above it. Eric Garner didn't get that chance. He was given a death sentence for selling cigarettes. Eric Garner was basically murdered by Daniel Pantaleo. Daniel Pantaleo decided he was going to put Eric Garner in a chokehold to take him down onto the ground. And because Eric Garner was struggling for his life, gasping for air, saying he could not breathe, Daniel Pantaleo became more angry because Eric Garner wouldn't stay down. So he applied the chokehold more forcefully, and he snuffed out the life of Eric Garner. And the federal government doesn't see fit to put him in jail for that. It would be different if Eric Garner had been placed in a chokehold and then he was let out of it after he was put on the ground. But that wasn't the case. Yes, Eric Garner was a big man, and it took some police officers time to get him onto the ground. But Eric Garner did not deserve to die the way he died. Gasping for air, trying to get a breath. His last words were, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." I woke up in the middle of the night feeling like I was in a chokehold in my sleep, not being able to breathe, waking up gasping for air, trying to bring myself awake. That's nothing compared to what Eric Garner was going through. And the police officer, Daniel Pantaleo, will never be held accountable for that. And in his mind, he probably feels that he did the right thing, that he did the public service to protect and serve, that it was in the line of duty and he was just doing his job. I pray that Daniel Pantaleo has nightmares over this. I pray that he is feeling so horrible that he turns himself in, that he cannot sleep at night, nor can he function during the day until he comes forward and he says, "What I did was wrong." If for nothing else, doing an illegal chokehold, which would make it a felony, from what I understand. I could be wrong there, but this is very disturbing to me. This isn't the first time that white officers have murdered the black community and gotten away with it. The officer that stopped a black man in a park, the black man decided to flee on foot. The white officer was too lazy to chase after him and apprehend him, so he just pulled out his gun and shot the guy in the back. Then he tried to plant a gun to make it look like the guy had fired on him, but he did not know that somebody was filming the whole thing. And when his partner showed up, he asked, "What are you doing, man?" Because he knew his partner had just planted a gun to make it look like he had shot the guy in the back in self-defense. I'm going to let you go on that note. Usually I tell people to like and subscribe my videos and to leave a comment. Today, if you want to do that, you can, but this is more important than me getting subscriptions. This is something I've been wanting to get off of my chest for a very long time and talk about the injustice in America. And this article that I came across today was a prime example of things that have been happening in America for, well, since America's been America. And I just wanted to talk about it, get it off my chest, and say how horrible I feel for America's injustice. I'm Native American, Navajo Indian. My mother from Israel. I was adopted to a family with my sister when I was 6 years old. I still feel horrible for what America is doing to the African American community as a whole. The injustice that is being put on African Americans and Asians and Latinos and Mexicans and various other people and Jews as well. America has a lot of growing up to do. We have a lot of responsibility that we need to take responsibility for. We have a lot of things in our past that was horrible that we have done. And I know this is not a very big consolation, but I want to apologize on behalf of America for everything that we have done as a nation to our fellow citizens that we've looked down on. I personally do not look down on anybody, but as an American citizen, I take responsibility for what America has done. And I hope you take responsibility as well. This has been All Things Considered. Have a good day, America, and all points beyond.